Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be discussing the Celtic god Lugh. I believe he's the sun god, sun and light.
He is mentioned as a god of light. He's a god of many things. He's a god of sports, and he's a god of craftsmanship. He is the god of oath. One of the places that the name Lugh comes from is one who takes an oath.
Yes, and I had read that his Hellenic Roman correspondents are Hermes and Mercury.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of Apollo thrown in there, what with the light and the sun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we're going to get into with this tale about his joining of the Tuatha De Danann, yes, I still like saying it, guys. I still like saying it.
I know.
It's so fun to say Tuatha De Danann. I'm going to blame the ADF group that we know. I've been involved in 2 separate ADF rituals.
When I hear it, I think of the song by the Celtic women.
I don't know that song, so...
It goes, Tuatha De Danann, da 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 da. Yeah, it's really good.
That's cute. Yeah, I like that. But, apparently, even though his father was a member of the Tuatha De Danann, Lugh doesn't just get a free pass in. Motherfucker has to apply for the job.
Right. And let's keep count of how many times Amber says Tuatha De Danann.
Make it a drinking game.
Right. Oh my god, take a shot every time.
Yeah. It'll make work more interesting.
Okay, but seriously, we should do a drinking game for our podcast. We can create like one of those things.
Eventually we have to figure out what we're going to call them, because I don't want to call them witches, right? But everybody has a thing that they call their listeners.
Oh, really?
Like the boys in the woods, they call their listeners campers, because they're sitting around a campfire. Yeah.
Right, like Lady Gaga with the little monsters.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got to figure that one out. Should you guys vote? Do we give you a vote? I don't know.
Right, I know. I'm like, wow.
If you join our Patreon, you could get a vote.
Right. I have to say, no offense if you do, but I hate it when people on YouTube say things like chunky monkeys. Don't call me that.
Yeah, I promise we won't nickname you guys
it
that.
It won't be dumb.
I just look, it's so... Look, we may be the classiest witches but for me that means we're above just calling you guys witches. Hey, witches. We do that to each other and to our friends, but we can do better for you. We can figure this out. Right. Yeah.
Hey, Tuatha De Danann.
I got off. Oh my God. It'll be a drinking game for every episode. How many times does Amber's... No, I couldn't.
My tongue totally twisted when I was saying it.
But that works for a drinking game.
I have to be sober.
Time keeps on trucking.
Right. Yeah. Excuse me. Yawning as always. All right. So he actually has to, like you said, audition almost for the job. So he shows up, right, at the court, or what is it like a castle? Where the fuck is it?
Well, what I read says the Tuatha De Danann live in the underworld, or I'm sorry, not underworld, otherworld.
Right. I fully believe in the otherworld.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's described as a parallel universe, so it's happening.
Check out our Into the Multiverse episode.
Yes.
Sorry, I did not mean
No, you're fine.
Check out our Into the Multiverse episode to realize how that corresponds with Maddie's multiverse.
Absolutely. No, but and that's exactly how the Celts think of it, right? And there's certain little areas, just like we've read with Hellenic, where you can get to the underworld. There's certain little places where specific individuals, like I say, they let you see them if they want you to see them. So certain people can see the entrances and get through to the other world and communicate with the Tuatha De Danann and the Danannins or something. I don't know. I read something where it didn't say Tuatha De Danann. It called them Danannians or some bullshit, but I don't like saying that, apparently. My mouth didn't like it at all, so. But, they can come back and forth as they please, but they exist over there.
I'm imagining it like a Celtic, sometimes they have, what are they called? It's like this, and it's made out of stone, and you walk through it.
Like Stonehenge, but not Stonehenge, right?
Yes.
Like a portal way, like a stone portal, or something that was created portal way. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Like it's like an open space.
And it's like covered in moss.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Like,
Nice. But when you walk through, do you disappear on the other side?
Well, and I mean, in Ireland, they have all these fairy lores that, like, if you go to certain places at certain times, you can get carried over to the fairy world and shit like that.
I believe
it. And this is from that same part of the world. So before we get into the myth, do we want to do the cast?
Oh, duh. Yes, that sounds like a great idea. So who's our main hero, Lugh?
I have Sam, what's his face? So my favorite thing is him in his cast, or in his role in the movie Rogue, but he's in Clash of the Titans, I believe, as the hero. Yeah, the newer one.
Oh, okay. He plays on Sam. What? It starts with a W.
Yeah, but I cannot.
He plays on Avatar. He's the main character.
That guy.
I love that guy. Also,
once I stopped picturing Sean Connery as Lugh, because I pictured Lugh as an old guy before I was reading this myth, because it's him at his coming of age. So he's like 16 to 20 years old.
Dude, my hair is such a mess this episode.
No,
I'm so
I think
sorry.
It was beautiful.
I'm like looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I actually love that because you're right. He plays Clash of the Titans. Oh my God, he plays an Avatar.
Yeah,
he plays
I like him.
what's his name, John or Jim or some shit. But he falls in love with the blue Avatar and he goes native. That's what they say.
Yeah, but I love him.
He's a good romantic cast. Also, he plays in one of my favorite Terminator movies.
He is.
He's the Terminator that doesn't know he's a Terminator.
Well, and think about, Clash of the Titans, he's totally an action hero.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't he fight Medusa?
Right, I think he plays Perseus.
Yeah, okay, I've seen it a couple times, but when I've watched it, it's one of my going to bed movies at my dad's house. So I always fall asleep during it. I've only seen it all the way through, 2 or 3 times.
It's good. I don't like that they make Hades the bad guy. Hades is always the fucking bad guy.
Yeah, because again, we fear death.
Right. That makes sense. It totally does.
It does.
Even though he's probably the nicest one there is.
He really is.
That poor guy. Right? That poor man. He just gets
a bad rap because he's deaf.
He's so bullied. You know what I mean?
Well, he's the runt of the litter, I feel like.
Right.
His brothers are just we win.
Right. Poor guy. Or it's they're going to draw a fucking straw and he pulls the shortest one on the first fucking time.
Every time.
And it's just God. Give him a fucking
poor
break,
Keanu.
Dude. I know. All right, so I could definitely see Sam W. Okay. I
cannot remember his last name.
I know it's W something.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. I don't. Yeah, but that guy, that, I pictured him for Lugh as soon as I stopped picturing Sean Connery.
It's so unusual casting, in my opinion, because he's not very Celtic looking. To me, he's more Hellenic Roman, and maybe that's because I've only seen him in Hellenic Roman roles.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they've got the term Black Irish. I'm pretty sure he probably. Well, I don't know. He's Australian, so he might have Irish ancestry.
He's got beautiful eyes.
He does.
He's gorgeous.
He does. Again, and I'm assuming he's Australian because of Rogue. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm sorry.
He's very romantic.
Yeah.
He's very romantic.
I don't know. I just fucking love the movie Rogue.
And very in tune with Mother Nature.
He is the hero in Rogue, and he dies. And it's so awful. And the guy that survives is not the hero.
I hate it.
He's the hero. But Sam is the hero of Rogue. Love that movie.
So his
father's name is Cian. And he is...
Oh, I was pronouncing it Kane, but the I and the A are into... Okay, so Cian.
Cian, yeah. Cian. And even though it's a C, because, whatever, it's Celtic, and it's a hard C. Everything I've heard is hard C versus soft C. Because I am inclined to say, Cian or Sean, but everything I've heard says Cian. Because I had a I used my Google Assistant to help me this week, and while I was baking, I had it read me web pages.
Oh, nice. But could you get into it, or was it like a weird voice? See, sometimes
I drone it out, but I do that with like a podcast too, so I think it's me versus
How could you?
I think it's me. Like, once I get real intent into my baking, or whatever else I may be doing, I'm pretty drowning out outside of my
So what intentions did you put in the blueberry muffins?
Love.
Love. That's sweet. I can use some
and
of that.
sweetness. Oh, it was good though.
They were.
I kind of like the overbaked batch better.
Really?
Well, I don't like blueberry muffins, so the blueberries were too blueberry-y for me. In the overbaked batch, they were less berry-like and a little bit drier. And yeah.
So with Kean, would you
Kean,
see not Keanu Reeves, I'm sorry, the other guy.
Sean Connery? I totally would if you like it.
Yeah.
I love me some Sean Connery.
Makes sense.
And like, I love that Sean Connery is now
recently
the
died.
god of healing. What?
You didn't know that?
What?
Sean Connery is dead.
I was today years old.
Oh my god, please let me look this. Yes.
No, I actually love him and his voice.
Yeah, no, he passed away this year or last year. Sorry, guys, I have to look this up in Amber's bubble.
Oh.
Yep, October 31st on Halloween.
He died on Halloween. Oh, you sweet soul.
Yeah, it was a real bum. It was really shitty.
I was kind of preoccupied come Halloween this year, if you remember.
It was 2020.
Oh, 2020?
So year of the pandemic.
Amber does not keep up with online things, guys. If you've never paid attention, I maybe not the current events person.
That's Maddie's job.
I did. I like what I like, and paying attention to, yeah, I don't like that. Anyway, so I very well maybe knew he died back in 2020 and just forgot about it because I don't pay that much attention to celebrity deaths.
So Danu.
So Danu, the mother goddess, like the mother of, the reason that they are called the Tuatha De Danann is because they are descendants of Miss Danu. So she's like I am picturing McGonagall. Whoa, that's weird.
Really, that old? I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Well, if she is Kian's mother and Dagda's mother, she's all the leader guys' mother.
Right,
Wouldn't that make her like grandmotherly?
For gods, I always imagine them all young.
Oh, I don't.
You know, I don't. Unless it's a man.
Well,
is that sexist? I don't mean that to be sexist. I think it may be rooted in sexism, thinking that females must be young to be beautiful. So if that's the case, I do apologize.
Maybe. Because I don't picture them all young. I don't, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I went McGonagall. Not on purpose necessarily, it just unfolded in my brain as I thought about the fact that she is the mother of the guy we just cast as Sean Connery. So even if he's Sean Connery in his 50s, he's still Sean Connery.
So she would still be young. Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
No,
she
you're
would
fine. She'd still be like, yeah, exactly. She'd still be young for what she really is, right? Because she's like this ancient goddess, the mother of all mothers. I don't know. I was just picturing like a matriarchal individual.
You say that, and I think Lily Tomlin on Grace and Frankie. I love her.
Lily Tomlin.
Have you seen her on Grace and Frankie? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I could see because she's got the gray hair and the real pretty hair. Actually, really disappointed in how Grace and Frankie's coming to an end. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm probably in season 1 or 2.
Well, it's fucking shitty. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. It's like I liked that show, but it wasn't one that like I couldn't stop watching. Oh.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit, right? Like
that's true to life. Though.
It is. And then the other one. So I'm like, are they gonna kill them off before the show's over? I got like 14 episodes left. I'm gonna be pissed. I mean, it makes sense because they are older, but like. I've seen Grace and Frankie called the new-aged Golden Girls. Oh,
I
could totally
knew that's
see
what
that.
you were gonna say.
I could totally see that.
I could see Lily Tomlin being like a takeover, and the other one, what's her face?
Jane Fonda. I love Jane Fonda. Not everybody does. I like her as an actress very much. She did really good in Monster-in-Law.
You know, my favorite thing about Jane Fonda, and this is probably where you go, not everybody likes her, is the joke about Jane Fonda, the joke bit about her from American Dad in one of the Christmas episodes, because I love American Dad Christmas episodes. And like Stan goes back to like 1970 something to try and prevent
Jane Fonda from doing her thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then he finds out really it's this blah 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 blah. Whatever, it's how cartoons go. But it's super funny. I love how much Stan dislikes her.
Jane Fonda. Oh yeah, not every. It's either you don't really like her or you really don't. But I like her.
Or you're like Amber and you're ambiguous.
I like her, and I like
I don't
her show.
dislike her. I just don't overtly like her either. I don't dislike her on the show, but obviously I was like, what's her name again? Oh, she's fucking amazing in 9 to 5 though. That's Jane Fonda.
Yeah,
I was like, I know her from something when she's younger, but it's not
the exercise video.
Oh yeah, no, 9 to 5. She's that meek little secretary. I fucking love her. I forgot about
She's
that.
great. I really like her.
And they're together in 9 to 5. It's her and Lily Tomlin and fucking Dolly Parton. Does Dolly Parton ever make a guest star? Does Dolly Parton
I don't know. They talked about her guest starring in the last one. There's a couple guest stars. RuPaul makes a guest star.
Yeah,
and then
Rue McClanahan's dead. My bad.
It's a great older cast.
For sure. No, I mean I've seen like at least the first season. I can't remember if I've gotten into season 2 or not.
The actor,
yeah.
I am
Charlie's
shocked.
daddy.
I am fucking shocked.
Oh, that's why he needed money? He had to help Charlie out.
He looks...
Just kidding.
My husband and I just looked up Martin Sheen and the other one. The other brother.
Estevez? Yeah.
Fucking hell, they're twins. They are fucking twins. It's crazy. Now that he's older, he looks like his daddy.
I believe it.
It's the eyes. And even Charlie Sheen has that eyes.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You know,
he's got the Sheen look.
Yeah, they do.
They've got the Sheen.
They do. They really fucking
They all have the Sheen.
But I also
Emilio, you should have changed your name too. You could have had the Sheen.
I'm sorry. It's really cool that he didn't change
I know, I love his name.
I wonder why he didn't.
Because he was true to his nature. Love you, Emilio.
Right.
You age like your daddy, so I don't know if I still love you.
He looks like his dad, I'll tell you what.
I was never a Martin Sheen fan, but I like both of his sons. Anywho, back on casting. So, Miss Lily Tomlin for Ardanu?
Yeah, I think so. Older Lily Tomlin. I'll tell you what, she really...
Timeless Lily Tomlin. Let's call her that.
Yes.
Timeless Lily Tomlin.
You
can picture her as Lily from 9 to 5. You can picture her as Lily from Grace and Frankie. You can picture her as Lily from the thing before she was in 9 to 5. She also young as fuck.
Played in that one movie with the twins.
She was on Mom. Yeah, she was on Mama's Family.
No, the twins. It's Betty. What's her name? And her. They're switched.
Yeah. The Big Business.
Big Business. Yeah. And then she was also
Bette Midler.
Yeah, Bette Midler. She was also on the remake of the Beverly Hillbillies, which I love, the 90s remake.
You know what? I'm going to throw out Bette Midler for the Morgan.
Oh my god, okay. But she has to dress up as fucking...
Jane Fonda for Bridget and get them all together?
Okay.
Yeah?
Oh my god, I don't know. Maybe we should do it the other way around because, like, to me, Bridget has red hair.
Doesn't Jane Fonda have red hair?
No, she's blonde.
Well, she's redheaded in 9 to 5.
I think maybe it's a jack of all trades situation.
Well, no, that's what I mean. So I mean, like, she could be our redhead.
Okay.
I picture Bridget. I was just thinking from their personality. I feel like Bette Midler's more Morgan-ish.
Okay.
And I could picture Bette with black hair because I picture the Morgan with black hair. How do you picture the Morgan?
I picture the Morgan with red hair. I picture her as like a fiery redhead. But then again, I think I picture Bridget as a redhead as well.
Well, and that works,
two different.
And I think they can both be redheads. But I picture Jane Fonda as like a strawberry blonde redhead.
Okay.
And that fits Bridget to me.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I feel like Jane Fonda's more of a soft individual, just like Bridget. Whereas the Morgan, she's much more of a, you know, I don't want to call her dark, but...
Jane Fonda's almost 90 years old. Makes me sad.
Wow!
I think I read that she's...
Bitch, you aging so
Lily Tomlin too.
I know, but that's why I was like, let's get them all together.
Yes. Also, I think my favorite role, Lily Tomlin, would have to be the Frizz from Magic School Bus.
What's my favorite Lily Tomlin role?
But I do like her as Frankie. I fucking love Frankie. Frankie is who I want to be when I get old.
My favorite Lily Tomlin might be Mama's Family.
Really?
Oh, I love her on Mama's Family.
I love her voice.
She also, she used to do shows that it's not Laugh-In, but what's her face? They have infomercials for it now. Like, Comedian Lady and her, she had her own show, and Lily Tomlin would be on there as, a baby sucking her thumb. And, she's great. Little skits, before Saturday Night Live kind of thing was around. It was this kind of stuff, and Lily Tomlin was in one of those, and she's fucking hilarious. You'd probably like all the comedy in those. Well, you'd probably like all of the comedy that's not off color because it's from the 50s.
I like Lily Tomlin.
They have funny little bits. My mom and I went onto regular TV while we were picking what internet TV we wanted to watch on my living room TV, and Laugh-In or something like that was on, and I couldn't change it for 30 minutes because that shit was funny, and it's it's dumb shit. It's dumb shit, but it was so funny. 70s comedy. So funny. So we have to cast Manon Mac Lir, who is one of the kings of the underworld and is pretty big in the world of Celtic mythology. Other than being a warrior and a king of the underworld, I really don't know much about Manon Mac Lir. However, I believe he is an individual that I heard a scary Christmas-related story about, which means he's a very multifaceted individual. If he's the same one from the story. So we can work with that. I don't know. For some reason, Gerard Butler popped in my head.
Really? You think young? Is that my sexist? Is that me coming out? Okay,
I think so.
What? You think old? You think?
Yeah, because he's a warrior and a king of the other world. So I'm like.
Well, I shouldn't say young, because my first thought was Jason Momoa, but I was like, no, I'm just seeing a beard. When I think gods, specifically of Nordic.
I could see Jason Momoa for Manon Mac Lir instead of Gerard Butler.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I mean, because the story that I know him from, if I'm thinking of the right character, he gets tricked by a demon, and he has to.
I hope that's not
loud. I was going to say, do you
want
to open?
Yes, I am so sorry.
No,
I think fine. I'm having a pregnancy hot flash.
I mean, it is warm in here because you can just pop one of them open and get some nice,
relief.
He gets tricked by this dead demon-y thing, and he rescues it from somewhere, and he gets taken to these different houses. I don't know. It's really interesting, but he can cross back and forth between the underworld and the other world and the not other world. And I don't know. He's a very interesting character.
My thought would
I'm
be
down.
Jason Momoa. Is that how it's pronounced?
I think so. I'm pretty sure if it's not pronounced that way, I am saying Jason Momoa's name wrong. So we have Dagda, the leader of the Tuatha De Danann. All right, take a shot, guys. We have him to cast, and I figure he's a pretty mature individual. I don't know how young necessarily. I don't know, somebody who's
Let's see. Young, but also mature. Well, not necessarily young, but mature.
I picture, if he's the leader of the Tuatha De Danann, I figure he's fairly...
And what is his name again?
Dagda. And I figure he's got to be fairly, like, all about it. He's the leader of all these magical people, you know? So
I would
he's
say
got to have a
Liam
commanding
Neeson,
presence.
but I don't know. Somebody with a nice voice. He's got
I like Gerard Butler's voice.
He is the Phantom. So he has.
He is the Phantom?
He's the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh.
So he's a singer too.
Gerard Butler is?
Sure.
He's also a singer?
Yeah. Oh, he's the Phantom. He sung. He sing to me, my
Antonio Banderas.
Okay, please.
Okay.
I picked up the thing for Antonio Banderas because I watched his version of the Phantom, and oh my God, why did they not cast Antonio Banderas as the Phantom? He's got like that Spanish accent, so it gives it a little twang.
His hair is just so...
And he's intense. He's so intense.
He's the Bandito or something. What's that movie he's in? Oh, the Desperado. Is that right?
Is it Zorro?
No, well, he is Zorro. But also, I'm pretty sure he's in Desperado where he carries a guitar case but inside's a gun. Like they like took his love and then he's like out for revenge.
I do like Antonio.
Yeah,
He's also the dad on Spy Kids, which is where I first met and had a crush on him.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it cute how like the actors, they like become family people or whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do a kids movie for the kids, and like all of a sudden you see like,
we're looking at you, Jack Black.
I was gonna say when not Nick Cage. All I can think of is Nick Cage, but it's really
Vin Diesel did one. The Pacifier.
The Rock did one. He did more than one. Who was the Tooth Fairy? Who was the Tooth Fairy? Wasn't it The Rock?
That was The Rock, maybe?
I'm pretty sure The Rock was the Tooth Fairy.
I think so. I remember him in The Game Plan, which was much earlier 2000s, where he's like a football player and he gets a daughter.
Jim Carrey. Sorry, Jim Carrey's the one that...
What did he do? Liar, Liar?
The Grinch.
Oh, I love The Grinch.
I love The Grinch. I was so excited when that movie came out because I loved The Grinch.
It was so good.
I was a teenager and I was like, Mom and Dad, you have to take me. And my dad was like, you okay?
Like the Grinch.
You're a mean one.
I love the Grinch. No, dude, I get that one song in my sister's head every year. I'm like, where are you, Christmas?
Oh, God, don't.
My sister's like, no.
Every fucking time.
It gets caught in your fucking head.
It's in my head now. Yeah. I know. I was trying to think of like the crocodile line from the song, but now all I can think of is, where are you?
Yeah, and then she grew up to be in a really kick-ass band, and I mean, do you know what she looks like? I think I'm
familiar. Yeah,
you know, she does the one song, "Oh Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below, way down below, way down." So she does like punk rock, hardcore rocker music.
I feel like I know that song. Like know that song. Like it might be in my liked songs.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. She is fantastic.
So the last two to cast are Nuwanda, the king, the current king at this time of the Tuatha De Danann. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of other people in the Tuatha De Danann that we're not going to cast right now. Just FYI. But this is our first delve into the Celtic pantheon. And so, we don't want to take a deep dive in and say stupid shit and offend any of our Celtic listeners. So we're just doing what we feel is a nice, simple myth to get us into that, you know. We did a nice simple Norse myth to get into the Norse pantheon. We're doing the same thing. I feel like it was a nice tidy little myth. I liked it.
Yes.
Don't know what we're talking about. Listen to Thor Wears a Dress. It's a while back, so you got several episodes to listen to after you leave
Thor. He's like miserable.
Oh, he is. But we've got the king and we've got the doorman.
All right, so we've got the king. Could you want to start with the king?
Sure. Nuwanda. He's the king, and he is fair, and he's
not
wise.
A bad guy, but for some reason I'm picturing the bad king from The Lord of the Rings. which is so dumb.
Which bad king?
The one where they go to the village and he's like overtaken.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah, I know.
The one where Wormtongue has poisoned his mind.
Yeah, man, fuck that guy, dude.
The king of Rohan.
Yeah, is that who it is?
Yeah,
man,
Rohan
fuck that guy.
is
He's
the
like,
one that's got horses.
They want to kill your
Sure.
daughter. And
I
shit
know,
like that.
fucking Wormtongue.
He's like,
hate Wormtongue.
He's like got like a fucking
Plus, like, he ruins
type
the
bullshit.
Rohirrim or whatever, like the horse rider guys. He turns his back on his nephew and his niece or his daughter. Terrible.
Right. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Terrible.
So I don't know why I'm picturing him because he's nothing like that. He's actually a decent king.
Yeah. Well, and technically, when he's not like that, he is a decent king. Once Wormtongue's out of his ear,
man.
he like the spell comes off of him and he gets young again.
Yes. He's like,
I
you're
still don't
not allowed here, Gandalf the Grey. He's like, oh, that's funny, bitch, because I'm Gandalf the White now, so I am allowed here. Like,
bam!
I know, right? That was so fucking awesome. The technicality.
Lord of the Rings. I love me some Lord of the Rings.
Me too. Amazing cast.
Oh yeah. And I have a cat named Bilbo. I mean, we are a Tolkien family.
Yes, I do love them. I really love them.
Me too.
Second one's my favorite. I think it's the darkest one. I'm sorry, we're not going to talk about this a lot, but I guess it kind of goes with like Gaelic mythology because it looks a lot like it. I mean, it's not, but I mean they have the same like aesthetic. But the part when they're gonna fight the orcs and they put the helmet on the little boy who's like 8 years old, and he's like, I don't want to fight. And it's like,
Dude, I think that's my thing that I dislike about those movies the most is that true to life part.
I know! That little boy's not gonna fight an orc, he's just a number. And they know he's just a number. They're like, put a sword in every boy's hand or some shit like that. I hate that shit.
It's all because of Wormtongue.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. But the cinematography in that movie, like when Pippin is singing that song and the horses are running out. Oh, gorgeous.
Oh my god, it gives me chills.
Me too, because it's fucking gorgeous.
My heart.
I know. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, that was really shitty. That was really sad. But just the like, seeing it.
Now I just want to have a Lord of the Rings marathon.
Me too, but they're so fucking long.
I don't care.
When I was a kid in high school, I could have a Lord of the Rings marathon anytime I wanted. Now I have fucking stuff to do.
Well, and I was gonna say, like, I feel like the way you feel about Harry Potter is the way I feel about the Lord of the Rings. Like I just like. I've read the books multiple times. Right. I've seen the movies countless times. I love them so much. So it's like, oh, sit all day and just do... Yeah, I'm down.
I wish I could do that with Harry Potter, but there's so many. I know. But I like the last ones. I'll watch the last... I mean, I like them all. Yeah. But, like, the first one's all happy-go-lucky. Second one's, like, a little darker. Third one's, like, plummet right into fucking... torture and shit. Like, it just it's a age as you grow series. I do love them.
It is. So I can't remember that king's name.
Do we want to, like, Dumbledore is like what I'm thinking now. He's got
for
like
Nuanda?
A beard. He's got like a real nice voice. It doesn't really mention his age, but I could see that.
Dumbledore or Gandalf?
They look so much alike, you know. I can't remember.
Voice?
I do like Dumbledore's voice, I'm not gonna lie, but I think you probably like Gandalf's voice.
I'm still gonna go with Dumbledore because I like it for this choice, but I just had to throw in Gandalf because, you know, they do
both
like
have
they're like
voices.
almost the same person.
I know, like they there's a lot of people with good voices in Harry Potter, including Alan Rickman, R.I.P. And
absolutely.
That guy who plays Lupin has a great voice too, I think, in a weird way. You know what I mean?
I can dig it. And
the doorman.
Got the doorman.
Idris Elba.
Oh, no.
Wasn't he like the doorman in the Nordic myth? I mean, not really, but
he was. And it's funny because I'm like Gimli from The Lord of the Rings, the dwarf. Great dwarf.
Oh my god, the redheaded, he's like...
Yeah.
was it the elf that said, "I never thought I'd die beside a dwarf," and he's like, "How about a friend?"
Yes.
Oh my god! He's like throwing him, and the fucking what Legolas takes down the whole ass elephant, and he's like, "That only counts as one."
Right? I know. I love their friendship so much. It's one of my favorite things about the Lord of the Rings.
Right, because there's like this prejudice, and then there's
and then there's like these two who are like, we got this.
At first it was what is this hideous creature? That's my wee lad. And who is this disgusting? He's like, that's my wife.
Poor Gimli.
Oh, but the dwarfs, they're like all dead.
Damn you, Smog. Damn you, Smog. Also, shout out to the Dirty Heads who have a song that mentions smog.
Really?
Yeah. I love songs that have literary references. They make me so fucking happy. Especially when it's a fucking punk hip-hop band from fucking California. You do not expect that, because this was before the Hobbit movies, they made a song that had the smog reference. So they read the books, probably when they were kids, but still.
Did you hear the what is it called? Is it Desolation by...
Desolation of Smog?
No, it's a song, Icy Fire by Ed Sheeran. It's in the Desolation of Smog, and he's like, and if the night is burning, I will cover my eyes, for when the dark returns. It's all about like the dwarf singing to his people, and he's like, my brothers will die. Yeah, it's a great song.
Nice. I'm sure I've heard it if it's in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I've definitely heard it. I may or may not sometimes listen to Ed Sheeran music, so I may have heard it on YouTube as well. I'm not positive.
I do like Ed Sheeran.
I do.
Oh, why the fuck have we not cast him yet in one of these Celtic Gaelic memes? He's Lugh. No, I'm just kidding, but I could also see
it's because I'm not attracted to Ed Sheeran.
No, I'm not. I want to be, but no, I don't. I'm sorry. He's just... I'm more attracted to the guy that plays Ron Weasley, Rupert Grant.
Yeah, I'm not really attracted to him either, but I'm more attracted to him than I am to Ed Sheeran.
Right. But Ron Weasley was younger when you were in, like, when he... Yes, so exactly. That was, like, a situation.
Different. Yeah, exactly. Like, I have trouble, like, I don't care if he's legal age now. He wasn't...
I watched him wear hand-me-down robes.
That's too funny. So, Gimli for the doorman?
Yes.
All right. So we have our cast. So
if you're still with us,
cast is Lugh is Sam Waterston. Wait,
I'm gonna look it up. It's Sam
somebody. You may know him from such movies as Rogue, Clash of the Titans, and Avatar. His father, Cian, Sean Connery, that lovely silver fox. Danu, the mother of all mothers, played by Lily Tomlin, the timeless ageless
Worthington.
That's so thank you.
Hard to say. I thought it was Waterington, so I was close.
I went Sam Waterstone from Law and Order OG. Sorry, guys.
And Grace and Frankie.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he should have.
He should have.
I wonder if we should have. Anyway,
put them all together.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave it as it is. I don't want to cast Martin Sheen anyway. Not for this myth. Later. I feel like he's more of a. He's either a Norse or a Roman, in my opinion. Martin Sheen. I don't know.
I could see him as a Roman.
Yeah. But okay, so. Dagda, the leader of the Tuatha De Danann, shot Antonio Banderas.
Woo! From the early 2000s.
Yes. Bridget, played by the lovely and also timeless Jane Fonda. Think her strawberry blonde tresses. The Morrigan is Bette Midler. I'm thinking black. Maddie's thinking red. So picture Bette with like some badass red and black do.
Yeah.
Because I think that is very Morrigan.
Oh hell yeah.
Then Our King Nuwanda is the wonderful late great Dumbledore. Is he still with? Is Dumbledore alive still?
I think he's alive.
Okay, Dumbledore. Well, Dumbledore,
sorry to look it up.
Wait, technically Dumbledore is dead. The actor, I don't know.
Oh, they should have put the fucking funeral. I'm not to go on on a tangent, but they should have put the funeral in the fucking movie because all of the mermaids show up, all of the centaurs show up, the giant squid comes, episode. Everybody fucking shows up. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's Michael Gambon. Richard Harris was the first one. He unfortunately passed away. I remember.
Oh, okay. So that is why I think a Dumbledore died.
Yes, he did at the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay. That explains my
He's the same age as Jane Fonda. Wow. Like, that's what I have to say. Shit. Wow.
Money really does make you live longer.
Well, also, Jane Fonda, what are you what are you doing to stay young and beautiful?
Again, I can't afford it, so money really does make you live longer. Sorry. Bad jokes, guys. Anywho, my bad, Jane, not talking shit. I'm sure you are very healthy.
Like you, yes.
Manon MacLear is played by Jason Momoa, and the doorman is played by Gimli. So, for everybody who understands, everyone that is not Lugh and the doorman is kind of just an observer for most of this.
They're like, we just sat through 40 minutes of this for observers.
Well, you gotta have the right. Also, there's extras mixed in, and you don't care about them, and neither do we.
Right.
Actually, I'm just kidding.
Hey, at least we
don't know the Pantheon. I'm not trying to talk shit on the other Tuatha De Danann.
We didn't cast Emma Roberts this time.
Oh my God! Shut up, bitch. We didn't. Surprise! There's your surprise.
Right.
She's not in here.
So this starts. Yeah. This specific myth starts when Lugh goes to the Is it a castle? It's where the king's court is, and I always imagine a castle.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't openly say that.
Yeah, it doesn't openly say, but it says the king's court, so you can picture it however you want.
There's like a round
it's
table.
It's fucking Scotland or Ireland, so you know it's a gorgeous ass castle.
Oh my God, it's like a cathedral type, but not. Right? But like, anyway. So he's stopped by the doorman, Gimli, and this is hilarious because I can see him with like a staff, like,
yes,
no one enters.
You cannot ye shall not pass.
You cannot enter.
And then Dumbledore's like, that's my line.
Right.
Wait, wrong movie. We didn't. That's. I was because Dumbledore and Gandalf. Thank you. I'm like, what the fuck? His name's not Gimli. Dumbledore and Gandalf look so much alike. I still have him in my head.
He's so grumpy. Guarding the door. He's like, no. He takes his job so seriously.
I bet he does. He's so... And Legolas isn't around to keep him light, you know, because we didn't cast Legolas, so...
Right.
Oopsie. But I picture him in full beard and the braids.
Maybe it's not a staff. It's a large...
It's his axe. It's his fucking axe. And he's like... Bitch, step back.
He's like, maybe he takes this. He's like, okay, I don't take you seriously, you're a dwarf. So he takes a step back. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. That axe is bigger than you are, sir. I take it seriously.
He's like, whoa, what's
And I can picture Sam Worthington in that situation, like, first giving him shit and then being like, whoa.
Right, because he gets pissed off.
Yeah, and our Lugh, he's like 16 to 20 years old, so he's like coming of age, and he's just like... not taking too much shit too seriously yet in life. So I'm sure he's just like, this is all fun and games for me at the moment.
He's like, haha, poke the dwarf, make him mad, you know what I mean? And I say dwarf in the sense of the jig.
You're right, yes. You know? He is. Gimli is a dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
If you are not aware of Lord of the Rings, please go make yourself aware for your own sake.
Right. So... what happens next, Amber?
So he's like, the doorman's like, what? And like Lou's like, I want to audition to be
he's saying it really slow because he's a dwarf and he's dumb. Maybe he hears like rumors around that the
doorman's a little he's heard the doorman's a little slow, but he thought it meant like this. Now he has short legs.
So he's like, I wish to
audition
for the king's
Or
court.
I guess he probably doesn't even say I want to audition. He probably says, I'm here to become a member of the Tuatha De Danann. My dad is Cian.
He's like,
and Gimli's like, I ain't fucking seen you around here.
He's like, I don't believe you. Nice try. You know what I mean?
And so he's like, no, I belong. I belong as a member of the
I'm a
Tuatha De
swordsman.
Danann.
Well, there's like 7 of them inside,
Right.
so...
Well, and he doesn't just tell him what he is. He shows him in all sorts of ways.
He, pulls out his sword, check this out, and then Gimli...
Yeah, and he Zorros that shit up, you know?
You're right.
And Gimli's like, I've seen it. Dagda can do that.
Or he's like, ha, 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 just laughs out loud, it's...
And then Lou's like, okay, well, let me... And he writes this long-ass poem. And he's like, I'm a poet. And Gimli's like... We got that in there too.
Yeah, what the...
Yeah.
He's like, but can't everybody do what... Or, plays the harp.
Yeah.
Pulls out a random ass fucking harp, and he's like...
Ding, 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 ding.
He's like...
I don't know what harp music sounds like, even though that's my alarm.
I don't know either.
Actually, ironically, my alarm is harpscape music, and I could not replicate harp sounds if I tried.
So he's like... Well, we already have somebody that does that too.
Yeah.
They're playing right now.
So, Lugh, being the magical sorcerer that he is, he just pulls a fucking anvil out of nowhere and starts blacksmithing some shit. He's like, I'm making horseshoes for you, motherfucker.
He's like, we've got somebody that can do that too. So.
Right? And Bridget's just like,
yeah, that's me.
I got this. And he's like, well, fuck. All right. And he shows how he can be a hero and a champion and win things. And Gimli's like, wait, we got that too?
I just, in my head, I'm imagining, he's like, okay, I'm going to give up. And he, walks away whistling. Before he turns around and tries to, run inside, dude.
Well, and I picture him because it mentions that he tried to show that he's a historian. So I picture him just starting to recite everything that's happened in the history of the Tuatha De Danann so far, and Gimli's just like,
I was there, so.
Well, I picture Gimli being like, oh my god, will he ever fucking shut
He's like,
up? Right? God. And finally he's like, look, how can I make you stop talking? Everything you can do, we got covered. And Lou's like, well, do you have one person that can do it all?
He's like, you got me there.
Exactly. And so that is how Lugh got entered into the Tuatha De Danann as the master of all skills. Because
a jack of all trades.
Well, but see, he's not a jack of all trades, master of none. He's a master of all skills, which I find even better. Because I, at first, thought of it like, oh, he's a jack of all trades. And I was like, actually, they say he's a master. And the saying is, jack of all trades, master of none. But Lou's got them all beat because he's the master of them all. Wow. I don't know. I found that quite amusing. I also... found that I don't know very much about Celtic mythology. What about you guys?
I don't know shit about Celtic mythology, and all the words got all jumbled up. It was like another language. Because it is. It is.
So, one thing I would like to point out for anybody who's like, well, how did he learn all of these different things? Lugh is half Tuatha De Danann. His dad is Cian. His mom is a lady named Ethliu, and she is a Fomorian, which during this research we learned that Fomorians are magical peoples in the Irish quote-unquote history, because they're written about as if they were flesh and blood people.
They are,
but they're also written about they're magical, mystical creatures.
Which is why I think that's part of what confuses me, because it's is this real history, or is this? I mean, does that sound stupid? I don't want to sound dumb.
No, I get it, but I know. I'll probably piss off a lot of people with the way I answer it, which is my brain goes, it's all mythology, all of it, all of it, all of it, whether it's Celtic, Hellenic,
right? It's
Slavic,
lore. That's my
all
go-to.
Mythology.
It's lore.
So they're writing it as though it is history, like actual history, but it is just their mythology, just like the Bible is written as if it actually happened, and it's not. It's just mythology.
So, and then them being like, they're in the other world, but then they're like on Earth, and it's very confusing for Maddie.
Well, and it is because we're interested. Okay, so A, if you don't follow us on Twitter at Classy Switches, go ahead and do that. And then
please do.
B, if you are a Celtic mythology follower, let me know if this next statement sounds stupid or not. But as individuals who have never practiced or really studied Celtic mythology, coming into it to just do one little myth to get our feet wet, there's a whole lot that goes into it, more than just learning a myth at a time. There's an entire history that is written down for the Tuatha De Danann, and it is written down as a history with other things being included and real wars being mentioned that also have magical connotations. And that, like, the waters get very muddy.
Exactly. And that's like...
And it's hard to discern. And that is where I go. In my head, it's all mythology.
Well,
you know
and
what
it's
I mean?
like, it's the same way with the King Arthur.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's like, did this really happen? I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen because I believe in everything ultimately. But did this happen physically on Earth? Was Arthur real? Did a fucking bitch give him a sword? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did what's happening? That's where I get so muddled with Celtic, Gaelic. Not so much Nordic, but more Gaelic and Scottish and Irish.
Yeah, the Nordic is more written like the Hellenic, where outside of certain people that the gods make demigods with, people don't interact with the gods except for.
Well, they live in their own.
They do, because if you think about it, is like the Norse and the Hellenic both have a saying, depending on which pantheon you're going with. It depends on which god's name you're going to fill in there, but it's always never be rude to a beggar that comes to your door, because it could be the head of the gods. It could be Odin, or it could be Zeus at your door. I've heard that saying for both pantheons,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Which means
they come to Earth
and intermingle.
But they have a set Olympus and Asgard and it's above. You know what I mean? It's in the clouds, whereas it's
so this
also
being a parallel world.
Yes.
Got you.
You see, that's where it's like. So it's like it is on Earth.
It actually makes it easier for me.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
But
that's cool.
But it's like, did this happen in this universe or in that universe? Like, it definitely throws me off.
And that's where I go, like, because, like, back then, when these things were written down, people had more of a magical view on things, right? So they did believe this was true history. You could walk back and forth between the veils.
Right.
And I truly believe that some people can
pass
back and forth between the veils. So that's where I go, like, it makes more sense to me in a way. But at the same time, like, in that same regard, I think of Asgard and Mount Olympus as more parallel universes than heaven in the clouds above us. Yeah.
So for me, I think Asgard, and I do think there is a heaven in the clouds above us versus because, like, if you think about it, with Zeus and the Olympians, they're on Mount Olympus, and then Asgardians are at the top of the tree. Or not the complete top, but the top. So they both have that, like,
again,
lift.
But
is that what it's called? Lift,
right? But all of that is some guy or gal, most likely a guy, at some point wrote down, this is how it works, and that was this person's understanding of whatever message they received that caused them to, relay that information.
It's really what makes sense to you.
Yeah, and it is really what makes sense to you.
Well, and honestly, they're probably both the same. It's just what and I don't say this in an offensive way because I'm obviously the dumb one. It's what your mind is capable of understanding.
Well, not just that. Capable? I wouldn't even say that. I would say it's the way you interpret the information, just like, the way the person who wrote these things down, and the person who wrote down the Celtic stuff. Like, it's the way they interpreted the information that was given to them. So it's like, is it that they just understood it to be above when really it's simultaneous? Or is it really physically, spatially above? Or is it only above in the dimensions where we exist,
on the same plane, but one dimension is higher than the
right, exactly. So like, and that's where I was going with that, is just like, it's all based on levels of understanding, whether it's your level of understanding in getting the information, or your level of understanding interpreting it and giving it to others, such as ourselves who are reading it. So I don't know. It's very interesting to step into a new pantheon. And if you are a Celtic listener, we hope we didn't offend you. We are learning, which is, what this is all about.
Yes.
That was one of the main points of this podcast, was not only to learn ourselves, but also teach some other people, but not to be jackasses. So like, if we said something offensive, sorry, we like to make jokes. Listen to one of our other episodes and hear what we say about other pantheons. You're not excluded. We just like, that's how we do.
So check us out on Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot. We're also, like Amber said earlier, on Twitter at Classiest Witches.
Yeah. And we are on Patreon. So thank you, Melissa, for helping us make a better show. And if you want to see what we offer there, patreon.com, Witches Talking Tarot. And you're on YouTube, hopefully, or Spotify, or Good Pods, or one of the other platforms. So go ahead and like and subscribe, rate and review, leave a comment, all those lovely things that the platforms let you do. It really helps us out, and we appreciate it.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye.